Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It's me, Joey P. Joe P's appear with me, as always, every Monday and Thursday is the Scott Bogman. And it's you hanging out, talking Monday Night Football. Tonight, we've got the Green Bay Packers against the Las Vegas Raiders in a matchup of 2-2 versus 1-3 teams here. The Green Bay Packers will be without Aaron Jones, though. That news breaking just a few hours ago that Aaron Jones will be inactive for this game. Certainly changes the calculus a bit. Jordan Love, Scott Bogman, has been a quarterback that has been a little inaccurate at times, showing some of that green that still is on the Jordan Love young quarterback career. However, A.J. Dillon will step into this role, and A.J. Dillon has been less than spectacular, I think, this year. Is that a kind way of putting it?
Sand.
Like running in sand. Yes. And quicksand is one of those things, what I remember as a child of the 80s. And I saw this on an Instagram.
Remember how afraid you were of quicksand when you were a kid?
It was in a ton of stuff. It was in the Princess Bride. It's a real thing. It exists. But we were absolutely
whirlpool too. We were afraid of whirlpools for whatever reason.
Between the Never-Ending Story, between I would say Princess Bride, there was a lot more quicksand in our brains than there should have been. I think
it's probably gone because of global warming. All the quicksand, probably
it's all dried up. It used to be really damp.
Yeah,
and now
we're gonna make America great again. There's gonna be more typhoons and waterfalls and whirlpools.
No more quicksand.
And no more quicksand. Let's get rid of it. So
good stuff. Well, but again, A.J. Dillon, I think a lot of people will start looking and pivoting, and that's I think a very dangerous game to be playing, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not going to take a rushing prop tonight, Joe. I don't want Josh Jacobs because the yards and just the ineptitude of Josh McDaniels as a coach. And I don't want A.J. Dillon running in sand. Patrick Taylor, they brought in James Robinson, for God's sakes. He's been cut by like every team in the NFL this offseason. And they said, let's give him a try. So they know it's not working. So I do think we're going to see a lot of passing in this game from the Packers. So in the secondary for Oakland for Vegas is bad. So
old habits die hard.
There you go. Yeah,
that's okay. Every now and then I get a good San Diego Chargers. Every now and then. I haven't done it lately, but I mean, just some things just they die hard. You know what else is really dying hard? Odell Beckham Jr. He is not quite going quietly into the good night, but before he does, you might want to check out our latest giveaway. It's that time again. If you want a chance to win a signed Odell Beckham Jr. Baltimore Ravens jersey, courtesy of bettingpros.com, your place to start betting smarter, not harder, you need to subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below in this video, and that's it. We'll be announcing our winner right here on the channel, so make sure you turn on those notifications, click that bell till it goes ding, so you can be alerted if you are the winner and when new episodes of the Betting Pros show drops, so you can claim your prize, that Odell Beckham jersey. Okay, here we are, the Packers and the Raiders. So far, Las Vegas Raiders, the best line you can get on them is -2 at -110 over at Caesars. You can get +2.5 on the Green Bay side over at FanDuel -110. The total for this game ranges from 45 on Sugar House on the over side, if you like that, to the under at the 45.5 at -110 on FanDuel. If you like the Green Bay Packers to win outright, it's +120. So again, when we're talking value on the board here, this is the same conversation we had on Thursday when everybody was with us, right? We talked about this team, and I was very clear about the best value on the board sometimes is just to say, hey, it's a short week, Thursday night football, crazy things happen. The Commanders were not exactly a team that I was impressed with yet. And sure enough, they played down to the competition. And sure enough, the best bet on the board was indeed the money line on the Bears. So here's a question for you. Is the best bet on the board tonight the Green Bay Packers money line too with the +120 money? Or do you think the Raiders handle their business here at home against the Green Bay Packers?
No, I don't like the Raiders at all whatsoever. So I want the Packers in this game. Money line is fine for me. I'd rather get the points because they are on the road, to be honest with you. So, but I mean, if we're talking value, then sure, let's take the money line on Green Bay to win straight up. I really don't like the total in this game. I'll take the under just because neither one of these offenses impressed me at all so far this year. So give me the under in Green Bay.
Do you like the Green Bay defense from what you've seen this year?
I don't know that I like it, but I would say that it is fine to match up with the Raiders offense. So,
okay.
I like that matchup. The Raiders defense is real bad, but you do kind of have a one-dimensional team in Green Bay for this game with that running game looking so bad. So I think a one-dimensional offense on the Green Bay side and a defense that I do think that the Packers defense is better than the Raiders offense. So I like the under. Like I said, don't like the total. Would rather take the Packers plus the points, but I've got Green Bay in the under here.
Yeah, I don't love the total either on this game, but I do agree with you. I think Green Bay on the money line. And that's not something we always agree. Bogman and I don't always agree on things, but it feels like Green Bay plus 120 is a good look here. I don't know why Las Vegas is getting so much out of this. And Aaron Jones not being there is a piece they're missing. Like, that is an important piece. However, I'm hoping for, after 10 days off removed from his first start of the year, that Christian Watson can deliver a little bit more. And that kind of playmaker is a big deal. Having that guy back around is very important. Also, having you all around hanging out with us too. Drop comments below here. We'd like to chat with you. Sam Young's got a comment. What's up, fellas? Love the show. Are we banging all the Adams props tonight? We'll get to props in just a second. Boggs loves Odell, by the way, after that lame attempt at that touchdown grab yesterday. Boggs, you ever seen so many Ravens fall out of trees and drop balls as you saw yesterday?
God, Joe. I mean, I was watching this and I was like, man, we should be getting stomped. Zay Flowers is opened so much. Zay dropped like 3.
They dropped a couple.
Bateman dropped one in the end zone. Andrews dropped one in the end zone. I don't even remember the one that we're talking about OBJ dropping because there were so many drops.
I remember Andrews dropping the one in the end zone distinctly, and I remember a couple of Zay Flowers.
Bateman looked like he had it and threw it on the ground. It was very weird. So, but yeah, they missed a lot of opportunities. They left a lot out there. But, you let Pittsburgh hang around, and the defense comes through. TJ Watt with the big fumble recovery after Alex Highsmith smacked it out of Lamar's hand, and the Steelers win. So, and it's funny. You already mentioned the football team show. The biggest thing was D-backs beating up Kershaw in the playoffs. That was the biggest thing for me.
That's so surprising. Kershaw not performing in the playoffs is so shocking.
Yeah, but what was more shocking? Kershaw showing up, not showing up, or the D-backs showing up against the Dodgers in the postseason?
Well, look, the D-backs have nothing to lose, Boggs. And I know you and Welsh are very excited. The boys are, riding the high here of, the Diamondbacks in the playoffs. Good for you.
Yeah.
My payroll is the size of some other small countries, and we couldn't get in the playoffs this year. So there you have it, everybody. But this is a football show, so we're going to get back to football here. Don't forget, when you're making your picks, make sure before we get to your props today, make sure we get to that NFL contest. Again, join the NFL contest. That is what you want to do. It is fun. It is free. It is glorious. So what you're going to do is go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest, or if you already have the Betting Pros app, and I know that you do, just click community tab, drop down, join the NFL contest today. Again, you don't have to have wagering in your state. You don't have to be betting. All you have to do is be picking games, 5 a week, 100 on the season for the grand prize, that JSN autographed jerseys, but we're also giving away monthly prizes, weekly prizes. We're giving away prizes such as Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros swag. We're also doing premium upgrades to Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros. So make sure you get that right now. Again, bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Win free stuff, Boggs. Win free stuff. Speaking of free stuff, let's win some free money here. I'm still on a high from yesterday's Devon Achan's ladder bet, which I talked about on Friday's prop show. If you missed it, go back and watch it if you don't believe me. But it was right there for the taking. It was a beautiful thing. I hope everybody bet it with me.
Wasn't it like over 100 yards, like plus 700 or something absurd, Joe?
It was 560 for the plus 100. But who's counting?
My God.
Who's counting? Boggs. It was a really good
all
day.
The money you won. You're counting all the money you won.
I'm in a good mood today. So nothing can go wrong for me today. Like, I don't care. It's all house money right now. So we already talked about the lines here. Let's talk about the individuals. Let's start with Jimmy G. Let's talk about the picks. 0.5. Where do you want to live on this one?
Let's go over. How could we not go over? He has 6 in 3 games so far this season. He looks miserable. So look, I don't think the Packers defense is outstanding, but it's good enough to get a pick from Jimmy G, especially if they're down and he's giving away like he did against Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago. So yeah, let's go with the over. This one, I've been pretty good on these interception calls, by the way, this year.
You have.
I like the over. Jimmy G.
And you also called. You coined a phrase on Thursday night of Jekyll and Howell. And you know what? You nailed it. You did nail it.
Well, and that's why I didn't like that game. And that game,
I could tell you were very dispassionate about that contest on Thursday.
That game was brutal. It didn't turn out like I wanted it at all. I thought that it would be, Howell looked good. Their defense is okay. Fields has looked terrible. I thought, okay, let's go Washington in the unders. Complete opposite. DJ Moore looked amazing, but I warned everybody about Jekyll, about Howell not looking, whatever his name is. I don't know which one showed up, but
yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, he goes back and forth, man. He's like really good, and then he's really bad. Kind of reminds me of like early day Ryan Tannehill, or maybe current day Ryan Tannehill, where there's
Ryan
games
Tannehill
where he's good,
man,
and then
in
bad.
that game yesterday, Boggs, he looks like he's got zero zip on the football. Like he is just throwing soft pitch, slow pitch softball. Is that what it's on? Like that's what it looks like he's throwing out there. It is bad. It is not good. He better watch himself there. All right, so Jimmy G over on the interception line. Let's talk about Christian Watson, somebody I'm excited. Now, this is an explosive player. The number is 47.5 at -115. Where do you want to live on this one? Over or under?
I'm going to go over the 47.5 -115. He only played 46% of the snaps last week. So I think he's going to be out there closer to 70 to 80%, like a normal game for him here in this one. You know, they're coming off that Thursday night game. So last week, his first game back, my bad. But yeah, it's this game for him. I think just the corners for Vegas are not. Nate Hobbs is good and he's out. He's the only good one. Ja'Cory Bennett is one of the worst ranked corners in the league, and he's questionable for this game, and he's a starter for the Raiders. So let's go to someone worse than him. If he's not up, it is bad in the secondary right now for the Raiders. So I'm in on a lot of props here on the Green Bay side. Pick a receiver and go over. Pick a longest reception and go over. The receptions are trickier, I'll say, but if you're talking on yards, longest receptions and amount of yards, I like a lot of the Packers, and I think Watson is my favorite one here.
All right. Hopefully Watson's snap count does kind of, start to tick up here. We would imagine it would. It should. This is where we're at with things. These guys, they want to work them back. I think the best thing in his favor, Boggs, is certainly the layoff. Like you have a little bit more rest, a little bit more time. I mean, there's a good chance that they was very limited, coming into this game here today in terms of work. So hopefully tonight he can let it all hang out. Hunter Renfrow, interesting piece too. 17.5 receiving yards is the number. You're getting plus 105 on this. And Boggs, you're in on the over. Tell us why.
Well, he's only been playing around 50% of snaps so far this year, but Keyshawn Nixon is the Green Bay slot corner, getting the night, like I think it's 90% of the slot snaps in the corner for Nixon. He's been targeted 16 times, Joe. He's given up 14 completions. So that is a bad percentage.
That's a high percentage.
Right. So 17.5 yards, like just get open twice, Renfrow, and you have this total.
True.
So I think it's not going to take a lot of work for Renfrow to get to this total. Like I said, it's not my favorite, Raider, especially since Jacoby Myers is there. And we do have the revenge narrative from Devontae Adams, but it's also like, Devontae, take the over on Devontae if you want it. It's fine. It's revenge game narrative. He's really good. Jimmy's going to focus on him, all the stuff, right? But he's coming in like kind of nicked up with the shoulder thing. He hasn't practiced a lot this week. So like, I'm afraid that, one big hit and maybe Devontae is back to the sideline, especially if they're up, if they go up big and he's sore, that's also a reason to bring him up, or they're down big and he's sore. That's a reason. Like there's more to him not playing the whole game, which is why I don't want to take Devontae here, but I do like Watson and Renfrow.
Here's a fun question from Mel. Guys, I'm on Jordan Love head-to-head over Jimmy G in passing yards at -105. Thoughts? What do you think about this wager here, especially with Aaron Jones out? Do you think we get Jordan Love a little bit more pass-heavy tonight with how mediocre or below mediocre A.J. Dillon's been?
I mean, here's the only out. I think it's a coin flip either way, right?
I do too. I don't love it. I got to tell you, Mel, right. I don't love it.
But the out to this is negatively would be like, well, the Packers get up 17 zip and then they're running the ball now. Yeah. And
this is a classic 4 outcome game, and I hate 4 outcomes games. Like the 4 outcome games are the ones that I'm just never.
I think it's less like I think the Packers beat up. I don't.
I think they should, and I think this is
the Raiders again when you coaching is terrible. I think it's the worst.
They are. I think this is when you start to get an idea of who the Packers are today, because the Packers so far have been a little erratic. So this is a game where it's on the road. If you go out there and you put a hurting on the Raiders, you have my respect a little bit. And you start looking around this division, you see a 1-4 Vikings team, you see a 1-4 Bears team, you see the Detroit Lions clearly separating themselves from this division a little bit. You have to keep pace a little bit. This is a game that's winnable for you. Go out there, handle your business, get this big road victory, and then I'll have a little bit more confidence in the Packers. Let's realize that, guys, we got 18 weeks of football, right? Plus playoff stuff. Let's understand this. It's only week 5 still.
We're building the narrative still. Yeah.
We're building the narrative. We're trying to figure out who these teams still are. So let's understand that a little bit too. Also here is a fun one from Tyler. W Stream. That's right. We're the W Stream here. I like that. We should just start calling it that. Always watching Fancy Bros and Betting Pros. Shout out to my boy, Andrew Erickson. Erickson was at a wedding on Friday. You know who he ran into in the Foxborough Hotel?
Who's that? Tom Brady?
Bill Belichick in flip-flops. He texted me at 10 o'clock at night when Bogman knows you text me at 10 o'clock at night. The chances
You're
of
not
me
getting
replying to you
are
very low. Very low.
Grandpa Joe is sleeping. So
I turn off at 10 o'clock, I turn off my devices because I don't like when they go off. It's too
at 10
loud.
o'clock, the ghost of Christmas past is already in your bedroom.
Yeah, what's happening? But yeah, I think we've got a lot of opportunities here. Sergio's got a question here too. Sergio says, AJ Dillon over 13.5 carries. Don't love this one either. Sergio,
I mean, that one's fine. I would say you're more likely to get to that, but he's looked bad. You know,
he looks so bad. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, like I said before.
I think throw the ball to him more than you expect today. I think the one thing that you've seen with AJ Dillon a little bit is if you can get him a little bit of a head start, it's a little bit better than asking him to run between the tackles this year. That's the one thing. That's my one comment. Rum Boys. Oh, look, our boy Robbie's here. Look at Robbie showing up. Romeo Dobbs, anytime touchdown. You like that?
I like that on a big play. Like, and we'll talk about my next prop here too. I have Jaden Reed, longest reception over 17.5 yards. His ADOT is 13.6. Jacorian Bennett, who may or may not play this game, his yards per reception is 17.2. Peters is over 12. Hobbs is the only starter under 10, and he's out in this game. So I think you can actually take the longest reception and potentially an anytime touchdown for any of the Packers receivers in this game.
They're all good.
I think they're all good bets. Not all of them are going to pay. Not all of them are going to hit, obviously, on longest or the touchdown. But I like the Jaden Reed over 17.5 yards for his longest reception because of the ADOT for him and the fact that these corners in Vegas are giving up big plays.
And Marcus Peters looks in this young season.
Marcus Peters is your he is the prototypical gambler. He is going to go after the ball, but when he gets beat for big chunk gains. So we're going to see a lot of Peters out there, and he'll probably get a pick off Jordan Love, but he'll give up a couple 40-yarders too. So.
We haven't done this bit in a while. Chunk Gaines, by the way, also the offensive line coach at Middle Tennessee State. Chunk Gaines. Everybody loves Chunk Gaines. Come on, boys.
It sounds like what the FBI would give me if I was in witness protection. Your new name is Chunk Gaines. Oh, come on, man. Chunk? Really?
Here's another one from Mel here. Jacoby Myers, 4.5 receptions. Now, this one I like the over. I also like the anytime touchdown, Jacoby Myers. Again, plus 240 on FanDuel on Myers, plus 230 on Romeo Dobbs, plus 350 on Jaden Reed. All good options. Also, Luke Musgrave plus 330, Christian Watson plus 195, a little bit lower. But Boggs, you're the guy who always says, I like that at least 2-1. You're getting almost 2-1 on almost all of the guys that are really in play. So as long as we don't get some weird thing there and Chunk Gaines ends up getting a score here on some sort of, I don't know, lineman pass or something like that, we're in good shape here. Now, typically
Chunk
we also
Gaines sounds like a Florida landlord. So.
I love how Robbie spells it with a Z in the chat.
Of course it's a Z. No,
Robbie's always on brand. No, Chunk Gaines. Chunk Gaines is.
I think there's an E at the end of it, though. I think it's Ganze. Yeah, Chunk Gaines.
Chunk Gaines is also always make sure that he is off the first day of hunting and fishing season, too. Chunk Gaines. Chunk Gaines has got that. He's got a "Don't Tread on Me" bumper sticker on the back.
Oh, for sure.
You know, Chunk Gaines has that. All right, let's get to some defense. You got any
in the Everglades? I'm gonna get that 20-footer. You're gonna pay me $50,000 for it. It's gonna be great.
Chunk Gaines is definitely one of the coaches that twirls his whistle. You know the coaches that twirl the whistle and then twirl it back around the other way.
100% would have been one of those coaches.
Oh, you 100%. You're that guy.
Yep.
I am not one of those guys. I don't have a whistle when I coach on Saturdays. I just yell because I'm Italian. But the
lasagna, fettuccine alfredo.
Catch the ball. Actually, by the way, before we get to the last prop of the night here, my flag football Vikings put a hurting on the Eagles on Saturday. Ooh, 48-20. How about that, Boggs? 3 picks, 2 for pick sixes. We were rocking and rolling. Skull, baby. I'm going to send some pictures to Thor. He'll be very excited. At least that's going to be the only Vikings win in the month of October. All right, let's get to the last one here. Boggs always has some fun stuff on the defensive side. You got anything tonight?
Yeah, let's go. Rashawn Gary over 0.25 sacks. It's plus 105, which isn't the best for a sack number, but Max Crosby, as Mel pointed out here, is minus 130.
Yeah,
I don't really like minus on sack numbers. Like, should he get that? Sure. And that's great. But I want the juice to be at least plus on a sack because they're rare. They're almost like touchdowns. They're a little better than touchdowns in terms of the good guys really, really getting them. But Jermaine Illuminor, the right tackle for the Raiders, has given up 5 sacks so far in 4 games.
Wasn't he in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. He was Aragorn's cousin or whatever. It's Aragon, Illuminor,
He was a Illuminor Ranger, I'm pretty sure.
And also Robert Woods was there. I don't know, just a normal guy for some reason, but
well, he was an Ent, Robert Woods.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
But he gave up 3 sacks last week to Khalil Mack. And someone said, "Oh yeah, well we had a lot of guys on Mack." Josh McDaniels said, "We got a lot of guys on Mack." PFF or somewhat, not PFF. I think it was a Raiders website I was looking at earlier before, broke it down. They doubled him twice the whole game on like 63 snaps. Guy got 6 sacks. Maybe double him after the third, So
Josh McDaniels has no idea what's going on
in the NFL. He won't make adjustments. And for Rashawn Gary, he's been a little nicked up and banged up and stuff. But I mean, getting to the QB one time here and it's Jimmy G.
No, I like that.
Jimmy G, I think so.
Illuminors, the Rashawn Garys, all in
Illuminors.
Play. Illuminor Rangers. Jaden Reed, longest reception. Bogman's on the over 17.5 because life's too short for the unders. Hunter Renfrow over 17.5 receiving yards at plus 105. I like it. This is the sneaky one on the board tonight, Boggs. It's a low number. I like this one a lot. Like you said, it's like 2 catches. He might have this. Christian Watson, 47.5 receiving yards, minus 115. And always go for the yardage over the reception numbers or attempt numbers and things like that.
So I'll tell you what,
for the most part, except when you're talking about guys like, the Jacoby Myers of the world and things like that, because to me, you want to talk about
receiving yards or receptions. You can lose receiving yards, which I almost got screwed by Puka Nacua yesterday on because he went over.
Don't you bring up Puka Nacua's name in vain on this live stream.
No. I said I almost got screwed. I did not. I'm telling you the situation, and I was lucky to get out of it. Was I had the over, and then he fumbled on a backwards pass or something, so he got -9. So I went back under, and I didn't get it again until that last drive where they were trying to catch up. The Rams, they got the ball back on the 3 and out, and then they threw a pass to Nacua, and I got the over again. Puka has hit on everything I think I've had on him.
Puka's been
so I do not speak ill of Puka.
Don't speak ill of the Puka. Don't you dare.
No.
Bogman also has the over on Christian Watson, 47.5 receiving yards, and the over on Jimmy G, and the 0.5 INTs at minus 320. Boggs and I are both more on the Green Bay, money line here tonight. And I think that's probably the best bet on the board in terms of, again, Green Bay has to show us something here tonight. I think this is an important game. Should they fall to Josh McDaniels and the lowly Las Vegas Raiders, who are a hot mess, in my opinion, it says a lot about Green Bay, and it will tell us a lot the rest of the season. So tread carefully. Enjoy your wagers tonight. Make sure you bet responsibly. Make sure you use the Betting Pros app when you do. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you comment below so we can give you free stuff. Like the jerseys we got given away here. Odell Beckham this month, we're going to give that jersey away because he's not using it. So you might as well have it. It's going to get more action in your den. You're going to see it more than you'll see it on the field in the month of October. So you might as well do that too. And again, just subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring that bell for notifications and join us again. Remember, Monday and Thursday we're doing this. Thursday also in our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. It's free. Debro and I are going to hop in there, talk about some live betting during Thursday Night Football during the Kansas City-Denver game. That should be a good time. So join us for that too. We're building the community because of you.
That's right.
You are the people here. So we are the people's program. We're very happy. And yes, Puka Nacua is a saint. Dorothy Mantooth.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
And Puka Nakua are saints, everybody. So enjoy the game tonight, and we'll see how it all goes down. We'll recap it, obviously, as we always do here on the channel. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your football.